Thank you all. I'm going to start today with a question. And that question is, if you were able to look back at yourself now, fast forward 20 years, and you were able to look back at yourself now, what are some words you would use to describe yourself? And to start that conversation, we're going to look at me about 20 years ago, right? Right? Choice words here. Fashion icon, maybe not one of them. Comfortable, I would use maybe. Flashy. And then sometimes there are just no words, right? But today I'm going to talk about the value of words, because words really do have value. And for the most part, they come free, right? We communicate back and forth every day. But not unlike the stock market, words have value. And that value fluctuates, right? The value of words fluctuate. And to illustrate this, I took a few words. The first word is twerk, which actually wasn't a word until officially in 2013 it was entered into the dictionary. So it is a word now. It took a huge spike during 2013, probably during a Miley Cyrus era, but a really aggressive plummet. So do not right now invest in the word twerk. Not a good investment. On the opposite end of things, there's the word lit, which used to mean a state of light or an abbreviation for literature. But now for all the adults in the room who don't know, lit basically equates the phrase off the hook, right? If you're called lit, it's a compliment. And that's the purple line here. But just know that that word value could plummet at any time. So just understand that. And last but certainly not least is this red line. Pretty steady line. And this is an example of a word I like to call our blue chip words. And that word is love. And it stays consistent throughout. Now, it has spikes during Valentine's Day and certain holidays during the year, but that word love is the most popular hashtag used. On Instagram, it has over 1 billion uses. And to give you context to that, the second most popular word has half that number. So love is a word we love to use, and that's a really positive, wonderful thing. But then we talk about words that get restructured, right? So similarly to the way the definition of lit has changed, but you can kind of make the connection. There are words that just totally restructure themselves. The word gaga, right? 10 years ago, it meant a child trying to speak. What does it mean now? Well, it means a Grammy award-winning artist, right? We all recognize gaga. Now, the value of it is raised and been consistent, but it's changed. When you say gaga, people think you're talking about the artist, maybe not a baby trying to speak. To further make things more complicated, you have context. So the value that you have of a word may be different than the value someone else has of a word. So you have your own ways that you use your words, and everybody else has their own ways, right? And we get miscommunication all the time in what we write in emails and text message, etc. Take, for example, the phrase, I hate you. Negative, heavy, not something we want to hear. But if I was, doing my hair next to a friend and I turned to her and I said, you have amazing hair, I hate you, right? Same word, different context. She's probably not going to get offended by that. She may be complimented by that. So that's a little weird in the way a word is valued and the use of it. So it's important for us to understand the value and the heaviness of negative, but at the same time, the power in the way you can use it in the positive. So this item right here inspired my career. It was a odd-looking teapot that I created my senior year in an art class. And my teacher came to me and said, wow, Steph, this is so creative. You took inspiration from an item and was able to make it something new. You're so creative. Now, she didn't tell me I was a genius. I was the smartest person she's ever met. She just called me creative. But there was something in that compliment that triggered something in me. And it made me follow a path in creativity. And it's made me follow a path that's brought me here right now. And when I talk about my relationship with words, I certainly never thought I'd have a career in it. But I'm a writer and I'm a speaker. And it's made me realize now more than ever the value of words and really understand the value in them and what they mean to people. And this matters both in your personal relationships, but also in businesses, because what I do during my day job, I'm a creative in advertising, and I connect brands to people. And now more than ever, it's a two-way street. Brands don't talk to us as consumers top down anymore because they can't, right? We'll reject them. We have the power to go online and tell them exactly how we feel, right? They don't have the right to do that anymore. And now more than ever, there needs to be purpose in what a brand brings us. And recently, I was proud to work on a campaign that took the phrase throwing shade and turned it into something positive, to throwing shine. And what I already knew from a compliment that I received years ago that really triggered a butterfly effect, the power in the something so small. So it's not just the value in the words, it's the power that it brings you. So back to this hot shot right here. What are some words of advice that I would have given her that I want to give you today? Speak with intention. Understand that words really do have value, right? You may give a quick insult to somebody, but it really sends them on the wrong path. The same thing can work with a small compliment. Complimenting someone's smile, someone's paper, someone's speech, something small that can really lead to something big. You just never know the potential. Understand the power of a compliment, right? Very important. Certainly shifted my experience and my life. Again, something small can really trigger something big, something great, a great change. You've all heard the expression, actions speak louder than words. But these days, behind phones and iPads and computer screens, our keystrokes are our words, and our words are our actions, right? So actions equal words these days. And that's important to think about. And last but not least, you don't need permission, right? With access, right, the power is at your fingertips. You don't need permission to make a change. Even with rules, there are certain rules in your lives you have to follow, but true permission to make a change, you don't need. And to illustrate that, I have a couple examples up here. The first is a young boy, Blake, who instead of selling lemonade to his community, he decided to go through all of his toys and give away his old toys to the more needy kids in the neighborhood, right? Something so simple that could potentially change the lives in the kids and the families of his community. Second is Chloe Bridgewater, 7 years old, wrote she wrote a handwritten note to the president of Google talking about her interests, kind of asked for a job. He wrote her back. The president of Google wrote her back and said, you know what, I'm glad, stay into it, keep your nose to the grindstone, and maybe call me in 15 years. So that's great. They got a response. And the reason why I use a 6 and a 7-year-old is to illustrate that you're never too young to make a change. So understand this. Words are incredibly powerful. And we get to use them every day, right? For free. Lucky us. We communicate with them. We shape and we shift moments, days, lives of people. And if you understand that the power of a compliment can butterfly affect the life of somebody, what is the hurt in paying it forward? So understand this. You have the opportunity to shape and shift the world with your words. So, what will the legacy of your voice be? Thank you.